What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. According to Shelly Finkle, Deontay Wilder will not scrap his Luis Ortiz rematch to fight the British star Tyson Fury later this year, insists WBC King manager. You know, this was an ongoing thing, or a rumor. Well, not really a rumor, okay? This was pretty much a prediction or a projection from Eddie Hearn that states that Deontay Wilder won't fight Luis Ortiz. He will just go for the gusto and fight him this year. And it was a rumor surrounding that. But I know Eddie Hearn did project and predict that maybe that he wouldn't want to fall down the same path as Anthony Joshua did with Ruiz. So it was a rumor for a while that he would just go straight to Tyson Fury to avoid any other possible complications from getting that particular fight done. Fight while the fight's available, to take no chances. But according to this, like Deontay Wilder said, he said, all of my controversial fights must get dealt with ASAP. Okay? And Shelly Finkle said, I'm not sure why this question is being asked, but Deontay Wilder's fight, our next fight, is Ortiz. And I could see him saying that, you know what I mean? I'm not sure why this question is being asked, but Deontay's fight, our next fight, is Ortiz. I guess maybe he didn't get the memo, but I think he knows. He'll say, I don't know why, but yeah, you know why. Because Eddie Hearn has already came out and gave his 2 cents about what he feels Deontay Wilder will do next. Because when a fighter to that magnitude like Anthony Joshua gets beat, it sets off a red flag. It sets off a reminder that nothing is certain. Nothing is promised in the heavyweight division. Nothing. So that was Eddie's prediction. But of course, that's not the case according to Shelly Finkle. So this is basically Shelly's words enforcing and confirming that the fight with Ortiz is going to happen. The contract's been signed, but the venue hasn't. And I don't think, let's see. I don't know if a venue's been set yet. So, anyhow, I don't think that Shelly is the kind of person that, he doesn't like Eddie Hearn. And if he did, I repeat, if he did hear Eddie saying anything about Deontay Wilder, he's going to do something to counterpunch it, definitely. Especially if it's something that was going to happen. I think this is no surprise to me, though. It was only a rumor, and I think that rumor started from the comments in the interview by Eddie Hearn. So, being that said, I'm not surprised why Deontay Wilder's I'm not surprised why he's still fighting Ortiz. Simply because, what difference does it make? Deontay Wilder had a slow-paced career. Why would you speed it up now? Because Anthony Joshua got beat. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense to me. Because if they were successful by gradually, edging a guy along step by step with baby steps, what difference does it make now? They're not going to just go and fight Tyson Fury again. However, a rematch was on the table early this year, and we know what happened with that. But I don't see them really forcing Deontay Wilder. I don't think forcing Deontay was never in their plans, with Shelly Finkle. He never wanted to force Deontay into anything. I think he looked at Deontay as a person that had a lot of potential, but didn't want to rush him into anything. So why rush him into anything now? Because one great king has fallen. We don't need another one, right? But the funny thing about it, that's why Eddie Hearn, suggested that or predicted that he wouldn't fight Ortiz, because Ortiz could be that guy that stops that boat. That could happen. More than likely it won't, because the reason why fighters like Deontay Wilder has been carefully carried along is because a lot of those steps are educated. You know what I mean? They watch the step that they step for Deontay before he steps it. They don't want to go out there and put him in with somebody that could be that guy. And if it is, they want to make sure that risk is worth the reward. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think in this case it was. I think last year it was a bigger risk. And obviously if he would have fought Ortiz earlier, that would have been a much bigger risk than it is now. Because the older a fighter gets, the more vulnerable he gets. That's why I look and I watch older fighters like a hawk. The punches they take, the deterioration of their skill set, their physical endurance. You have to watch all that, because that hinders them protecting themselves. That hinders their defense. So when Ortiz goes in there and he takes a lot of shots, you have to be mindful. So they have to have a ref that knows, hey, this guy's older, this guy still has tendencies, because Ortiz is not going to give up. If we've seen anything from last fight, Deontay Wilder had to typically just batter him to the ground. You know what I mean? And the ref finally called it off. He was just like, you know what I mean? That was the third knockdown of that round. He was down 4 times the total of that fight, right? Once in the 5th and 3 times in the 10th. So, that's something you have to take, in account. However, Deontay is a good puncher. He can't hit you with big punches. Like, you've seen how he hit Brazil. He hit Brazil and damn near knocked his ear off. His ear looked like a butterfly flying off somewhere. Shit was funny. But you have to understand something about Dominic Brazil. He has no head movement. He was pretty much a sitting target. He was just a taller sitting target. And Deontay seen him because his head was not moving at all. Okay? He was right there, stationary, ready to get hit. And that's what happened. And he followed through and knocked him out. Now, will this be Ortiz? No, more than likely not, because Ortiz is smarter than that. He has a better skill set. He's a much better boxer. That's why do you think that fight went 10 rounds? Come on, people. This is Deontay Wilder. This guy has, 39 knockouts, 40 knockouts? How many fights does he have? 41, 42? He has a high knockout percentage. What does that mean? You think he means he wants to stay in there long? No. He wants to punch you with that one right hand and get you out of there. That's his motive, okay? His MO is to knock you out. So if you hang in there for 10 rounds with Deontay Wilder, you got to be doing something right. And I'm going to leave it with that. But back to Shelly Finkle, if Shelly Finkle heard anything Hearn had to say about maybe he'll just, jump over Ortiz and go right for Tyson Fury, Finkle might say, you know what? If they even had plans of that, of doing that, Shelly Finkle would probably say, hell no, I'm not giving him the satisfaction to dictate or to predict what we do in our camp. So no, we're gonna remain with Ortiz. But I don't think that was the case. I think that they wanted to carefully carry Deontay along, and that's where they've been successful with thus far. And let's look at it this way. Anthony Joshua was on a fast pace, right? He was in that fast lane. Deontay Wilder was in that slow lane, that slow pace. Well, they don't have to worry about Anthony Joshua. But where did it get him? It got him in there with a fighter that figured out a way to beat him. You keep fighting the best, you're going to get beat, people. You fighting these top fighters and these guys with different styles. Some of these styles will give you problems and they will defeat you, and they can defeat you. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's really necessary for Deontay Wilder to just rush back into a Fury fight. I think they want that to build. I understand what Roy Jones Jr. is saying. I understand what Eddie Hearn's prediction is. But at the end of the day, people, you know, Deontay Wilder's management has carried him and paced him along for a particular reason. And thus far, it's worked. Let's be real. He gets a lot of criticism, but, I mean, he's still undefeated. If that was the quote-unquote Mayweather model, right? Keep your fighter undefeated, and you can market and ask for as much money as you want to. The only thing is he has to be more marketable. But anyway, that's a whole nother video. You guys tell me what you think about Shelly Finkle's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.